when the pollution gets super high, you can't see the building across the street. Your eyes hurt a bit and you can kind of have a headache. And if you cycle it really fast, you feel like you're on a drug come down or something. It doesn't feel that great. My name's Matt Hope. I'm an artist originally from the UK. I came to Beijing in, I think, 2007. The kind of work I make, it sort of spans DIY, industrial design and sculpture. The early 90s, for me and my friends, we spent our spare time trying to get money to make some raves happen somewhere. The sound systems that we were sort of like involved with started, they had sort of like disputes, arguments and fights, and then like people like taking way too much speed or something. I don't even know what was going on, it's crazy. Then I spent quite a lot of time in Los Angeles, and actually LA is quite famous for pollution too. The idea of cheap components, you can make anything, sort of brought me all the way here, and then I set this studio up. The name of this thing was just the breathing bike. So it's like a bike with lungs or something like that. It was my bike, the cheapest bike I could find in the supermarket. Basically, you turn the pedals, the wind generator turns. The electricity basically gets stuck in this part back here. It just creates static electricity. And then the dust particles will get stuck. And the air that is passed over that through that duct goes down there, and you breathe that air will be cleaner. I cycle every day. I used to cycle as a kid and then teenager, and then I thought, oh, Beijing, you don't want to cycle there, it's horrendous. And then I actually realised there are places you can do it here and it's great. If it's really polluted, I just don't ride fast, so you're not like using your lungs a lot. The physical size of Beijing is sort of a bit of a mystery. It's hard to know where it ends. Down the road there, they made some tower blocks. I tried counting them, but you lose count. The phenomenon in China, specifically of people wearing masks, is, yeah, definitely like a moment of our age. Just accentuates the feeling of being overwhelmed by people you don't know, that you can't interact with.
所以那就要戴一个那种的口罩。那当然，雾霾太大的时候，我们就会选择坐地铁了。拜拜。
戴口罩的话，首先戴口罩，你那个会侵入到眼睛上，所以你就会看不清路。因为北京冬天天气也比较寒冷，所以眼睛上会沾一些雾气。
就是感觉呼吸的是热气吧。我觉得呼吸的热气对于自己来说，一个生活习惯的一个问题，不是感觉特别的舒服。因为毕竟这个戴口罩过了一下，感觉东西还是怪怪的。就像你煮菜一样，你把东西煮时间太长了，是挺干净的，但是也没什么营养了。
When I got to Beijing, I kind of like just looked up in the air all the time and was like, this is like 50s London, what is all this stuff? And people said it's fog, and I'm like, that's not fog, I know what fog looks like. And then I realised it was little bits or particles of stuff. People in England talk about the rain. In China they talk about pollution, it's like a kind of weather. The pollution sort of altering an artist's vision. I noticed when I started doing more work here that it became more monochromatic, less contrast in the drawings and things I was making. Everything kind of gets a bit murky and strange, sort of browny grey colour. Nothing jumps out. If you're in Switzerland, it looks like Technicolor. Everything's kind of totally over the top. It's too green, it's too blue. Here, all that's like, it's like using an old TV. The thing when the pollution gets super high, you do feel you're living in a sort of science fiction nightmare. You're kind of like a zombie in a way. And then you see these huge, strange shaped buildings that look Blade Runner-esque.